Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
How you doing, Chemda?
Good. I was actually going to ask you since our last episode of you. I don't know if it's another layer of discovering who your dad is or.
I slept so well.
Really?
And of course, people checking on me more now that they hear what I talked about on yesterday's show. And I'm like, no, if I talked about it on the show, I'm so much better.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So not even like an ounce of.
Nope.
Great.
Not even an ounce of.
Okay. Awesome.
The poll was.
The weed probably helped, but we're not going to.
No, weed's great.
Just awesome.
Oh, heroin. Does Father Malley know that Keith wrote Kat's emails was the poll? 20% say yes, 80% say no. I sincerely don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever know.
I feel like if he knows that much, he'll want to tell you that he knows so he can act like something else happened and fix it.
Right.
My God, for those of you who don't know where we are with this, it's season 2 of the dad email. Season 1 is at keithandthegirl.com/dad. I don't think we're getting much into it today, so we won't recap.
Thumbnail rates, among friends, I am known for my fandom. Keith and the Girl, of course, years and years of loyalty. Game of Thrones, I watched the show, read all the theories, entered fantasy leagues in bed, and won. And on the last season's outcome, proud owner of no less than 3 Star Wars tattoos. And yet, I have never been so invested in a plot like the dad emails.
It's time for a Keith and the Girl tattoo, it sounds like.
There is comedy in the entire stupidity of the situation. There is awkward British comedy in jingling libidos. There's sex, Cat is a sassy little minx. And there is drama coming from Mom's heartbreaking point of view. There is thriller, is Father Malley planning on killing everyone? Fuck the Sixth Sense, Keith, rate this movie. Well, it's being written, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Finger Lakes is one of these people that every so on our forums a listener. Some listeners, they keep saying, okay, now end these emails.
Yeah,
now end this little straight. And then follows up with 7 more opinions.
Yeah, even when people are like, I really want this to end, except I want to know what happens next.
Finger Lake says, this is the first time I think I heard the story about father fuck-up pretending to move out and making everyone apologize via mom. What a fucking drama queen. That's what 5-year-olds do when they don't get their way and pack up all their toys. They pretend they're going to sleep on the lawn. Like, I know he likes attention, but he's a fucking baby.
But also, let's say you are very, 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 very the most angry.
Mm-hmm.
You're a dad and you have 5 kids.
Right.
You don't get to walk out.
Right.
Like, the fact that that's an option for him in his head, like, I'm mad at your mom or one of the kids and all of you get to suffer, I think it would have been better and easier for you guys if he would have left.
Well, he's being manipulative, but what's wrong with these people is that they're not good at it. Like,
they're great at it.
Play the kids against each other. Don't let us all think you're wrong.
Yeah, but he tried to do that. And also he did a great job. For a long time, you thought you had a good childhood. Yesterday's episode, I mean, this haunted me that you said you don't have one good memory of your childhood. Well, so it took you 45 years to say that. He's great at his job, whatever job he decided that is, not dad.
Shoe Booty of the famous Booties says, the story about father fuck-up pretending to move out reminded me my dad, R.I.P., did something similar. The roles in our home had changed drastically when he got sick and couldn't work anymore. He became a stay-at-home dad and my mom was out working. Apparently everyone in my house was a disgusting pig that couldn't clean up after themselves, and he had threatened he was going to divorce my mom, leave us all, and move out because he was sick of our shit.
Okay.
It seemed serious the way he did.
By the way, if you threaten your kids that you're going to divorce your spouse, I'm sure you have a great sex life.
Right. It seemed serious the way he said it. And I'd cited to my best friend on the phone that night, cried to my best friend on the phone that night that my parents were getting divorced. She told her mom, who went to my mom, and then it came full circle in confronting me to not talk about, quote, family problems, and my dad to not say shit like that. Fucked up as my family might have been, thankfully, I never had to sign an apology letter to my dad.
Now, there's 2 parts of that. One is that they told the dad not to say things like that. But the other part is don't talk about that with other people. But that's what resolved everything. Talk about it with anyone you want.
Right.
Whatever the fuck it is about your childhood, don't hide those secrets. Fuck them all. They lit themselves on fire. Now you're just looking for water constantly to put them out. Fuck it. Make marshmallows and s'mores and enjoy that heat.
I said this before and I'll say it again. Live your life as if everybody can write a book. Okay?
This DIY world, they are writing a book.
So,
by the way, now you can update it. Live your life as if everybody's starting a podcast because they are.
Right. I'm just afraid when I signed that apology letter that I talked about yesterday, when I was 18 years old, that it could show up in court sometime. You know? Like, Mr. Malley, did you write here, Dad, you are the best? Well, I answer the question. I mean, I guess, is this your signature? Well, yeah, but Mom made us. Oh, well. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest, co-host of the Happy Never After podcast. Chemda was just on it. Fabulous comedian, also has been on the Hot Mess Comedy Hour. Marek. Hello, Mara.
Hello, I have a father.
You do have a father. Are you guys getting along?
We do get along.
Great.
What does that mean?
Well, we don't speak, and he exists, and so do I.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. I was wondering.
Boy, Keith and the girl really push.
That was not. What the fuck, Mara?
You can hear the last time Mara was on this show. It was for a section from the 24-hour marathon, episode 3035. We cut that out and made it a section. It's with Luke Tuma is also on that episode, Melody Kamali. And you were talking about discovering that your boyfriend cheated on you on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And you found somebody else's period blood, and he pretended it was ketchup. You took ketchup, poured it on the bed to compare the two. You made it a big thing, which I think is fabulous because most people go like, I know it's not ketchup, but let's pretend it. And you're like, no, let's take soy sauce. We'll take everything. I want to.
No, it's just like one of those when your parents, when they're like, we'll talk about it when you get home. And so you have to sweat the entire day.
Right.
And I was like, all right, let's wait.
Let's wait and see how the ketchup dries.
Let's
Right.
see how yeah. I don't even think that you like ketchup. So why would you have ketchup in your room?
And where's the hot dogs? Like, what did you have ketchup
Yeah,
with?
what was it? Get out your shit. Yeah.
Right. So, he admits it because you make him admit it,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I also found an Instagram of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not,
It's so subtle.
there's like,
Yeah. You're such a detective.
I know.
Now, you guys are still together. So, first of all, congratulations. Let me be very clear.
Thank you.
Okay.
I've dated everyone, so I have to stick with somebody.
Is it like, in Chris Rock's greatest album at the end, he got caught cheating, and he's saying how now he has to say everywhere he's at. I'm driving home, I'm coming to, he's in a car, but he's speeding, so cops chase him down, but he knows, no, I got to be home now. Cops end up shooting him in the leg. He drags his body into I'm home, honey. Is it like that? Like, no, I know you're able to look me in the face and lie to me. I need to know everything now.
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
He tells me everything.
Does it get exhausting? Like, yes, I know you're at work. I dropped you off.
And I'm sitting outside staring at you. No, I mean, he can work. The weird thing is we do have like some sort of semblance of trust again now because he has 2 different executive chef jobs.
Okay.
So he could be anywhere. He could be between the multiple restaurants that he's managing. So I just have to trust him, and I do.
Does he have to smell like food when he comes home?
Well, he smells really bad, like BO, when he comes home. So
Okay.
I'm like, ain't nobody gonna touch that.
Right. Do you ever regret, like your podcast, Happily Never After?
Happy Never After. I should have called it Happily. It's my fault.
Sorry, Happy Never After.
We'll change it after this.
Thank you. And just make all links go there. That's all.
You're such a team player.
And you get, of course, very personal. And you
Yes.
talk about your life. But by doing that, you will then see friends that will say, no, you got me invested. I hate this son of a bitch. Now you guys are fine. Do you ever regret saying something on your show? Because now I just want people to know me and my
No.
boyfriend are happy.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
That's like cultural appropriateness that should definitely go away because we need to talk about our problems. We need to be open about them. Everyone has them. And just because I'm being open about it, it allows other people to be like, oh my gosh, I'm also going through that. And they can relate to
Right.
someone. If someone's going to judge me, my show is very much non-judgment. I mean, recently I went to fart on his couch, and I also got my period at the same time. So then I had to take all of his stuff to the dry cleaners, and I said it on my podcast, and there's no judgment there,
Wait a second, you farted on a couch?
Well, I can't fart standing up. I have to sit down. And I was naked, so I sat on the couch to fart, and randomly got my period. So
Okay.
I talked about that on my podcast, and
Does he
was
make you think that makes things even? Oh, look, honey, blood on my couch. Oh, you asshole.
he actually
Let me guess, Marek. Ketchup fell out your asshole. It's like, it's not the same.
I do get that. I think Keith, you were confused about the comparison at first because you're like, period on a couch, everyone has periods, and you don't have to like, you know, understand again that Mara's not a fucking pig all day, right? Whereas if you're sharing about your relationship about an oopsie, then you have to sort of re-put that guy on a pedestal so that everyone understands that you've moved on so that they can move on. And I think that that's one of the last taboos of it's like money and cheating and like in those two are I think the highest. Like no one wants to talk about how they're struggling with money and nobody wants to say that they're cheating, but I think that is how you stay in a bad relationship.
What's a nice way for someone to say, Mara, tell me why I can like him again? You know, because you got me invested why I don't like him, and I didn't, and now I want to like him again.
I like Keith's question. Let me tell you why. Because you know, I totally get your end of it. Like, let me just tell you my life, and if I omit this, this is what I'm going to have trouble with, and this is what I'm going to have to work around constantly in my podcast and in my life, right? But from the point of view of not sharing, people can't get over that. Like one of the reasons I didn't share right away about my husband cheating is because if we work it out, no one's going to be able to really take us seriously again. So how does that happen?
Well, and I've broken up with him 3 separate times and have been very open about it.
So that's hard to be like, well, now I'm going to take your relationship seriously. And I don't, obviously it doesn't mean anything if I take it seriously. You have to go to bed with him and like do all the things with him. But are your friends taking it seriously?
They do, mostly because they know me. I mean, I've been divorced so many times, and this is the longest relationship I've had. So they're like, whoa, this one's real. No matter what, it's real. And the time that we were broken up was maybe 10 days total of the whole time. So it's not, and I tell them it's real. People believe what I say because what I say is the truth. I just
what
I'm
choice
direct.
do we have also?
I know. I'm very direct about it. So, yeah, I mean, nobody's relationship is perfect. And so I don't care what people think about my relationship. I don't, if you care about what people think about you, then you'll take all the criticisms in and hold them and just think yourself a shitty person. You have to be like secure with yourself.
And how does he get over it? Because he's not as open as you are. Just in general about his private life, he keeps it private, right?
Extremely, yeah.
So how does he get over just the whole scenario?
I guess if the only punishment when you catch me cheating is that publicly I got to go, okay. I guess it's fair.
He came on the pod. We had a marriage therapist come.
I listened to that.
Oh, it was intense, right?
Yeah.
I dropped a bomb on him. He had no idea that there was going to be a therapist there. I was like, oh, look, you would never go to couples therapy, so we just doing it live for everyone to hear.
Did it bother you that the couples therapist is trying to, see all sides because she's a therapist? He's a therapist, excuse me. I don't like to assume. This thing is a therapist. But
so much respect, Keith.
we were like, no, it's understood that he's a shithead. We can go on from there.
No, actually, the therapist was rough on me. And then
That's what I mean.
I didn't say anything in rebuttal to, he kept pounding on me. It was like, you text him too much, you do these things too much. And I just sat there. I was like, I'm not going to defend myself because I wanted George to be more and more open. Right. I was like, if I keep going on the defensive and make him also on the defensive, he won't share. So I just stayed quiet. And at the end, I was like, man, that was hard. That was tough.
Were you satisfied with the information that you got on that show? And what was the most satisfying piece?
We talked about futures, basically.
And he has a hard time committing to future things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's because he's had a lot of death in his life. And so he doesn't see long-term things. Like he always
you're going to die, so why make a plan for next month?
Yes.
Like it's just a Madonna concert, George. Okay? Can you go or not?
Do you want the ticket or not? It's free. Yeah.
All right.
I think that is rough because one of the big things that you were having an issue with on that episode was, let's say, a wedding that was coming up months from then, and you need to commit to your friend, and it's an out-of-town wedding, and he's saying, well, with my job right now, I want to commit to the work. I want to say yes to every opportunity that comes because that's just where I am in my life. So both people have a valid reason.
Which we didn't end up going. Neither of us.
Not you either?
I had a podcast convention I had to speak at, and we ended up going to Mexico the next week for 10 days together.
Okay. And now's the 10 days you broke up. Smart. I'll see you at the flight. Do you still go to therapy now?
I do, yeah, personally.
Okay. Is it
Yes.
working out?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, you know me. So,
But the ritual feels good, right?
yeah, you know, I like him. He's got good snacks, you know. I'm like, $150, but he has Cheez-Its in the room.
How do you cope when you're bummed out? Wine? What do you do?
No, I don't do any alcohol or pills or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing.
Did you see the commercial about the Glenlivet? It's whiskey, but now they have it in capsules. And I don't really understand
No.
this.
What?
It looks like Tide Pods, no exaggeration.
You're joking.
And you pop it in your mouth, and I'm not sure if it slowly dissolves or it's fast like a Jello shot. But you see these fancy looking people in a nice establishment, and they put it in, they turn to each other, and they go, like the whiskey sensation.
Weird.
the whiskey sensation.
Glenlivet is a very nice scotch.
Right, it's expensive.
It is expensive.
They
The
say
punch to the gut.
no ice. Yeah, you know how you like to keep that fine scotch in your gums. No ice, no stir, no glass. We're redefining how whiskey can be enjoyed. Introducing the Glenlivet Capsule Collection. So I checked the calendar. I'm like, is it April 1st? This seems like a real thing.
Do you put it in your mouth like candy corn, like as many as you can fit in, or just like?
No, then you have a problem, right? Is every third pod free? I'll take 4 right now.
I think they're trying to get ahead, and I'm just making this up, but of the pot, the weed stuff, because there's edibles, and you can bring that to the movie theater, and it's a different experience rather than like needing a glass, needing whatever it is that alcohol comes in.
Right.
You can just go like, here's this for too much money.
He drinks a whiskey pot. He drinks a vodka pot. He drinks a lager pot. He drinks a cider pot.
You could put CBD oil and one in your mouth at the same time. See which one hits first.
You're at a business meeting. Yes, I'm interested in this project mainly because I think it represents me. It represents my brand.
But you know what? So it's perfectly reasonable and also expected to drink at meetings, especially if you're having lunch or like at a restaurant or something like that. You always meet in a place, always alcohol. And I always had issues. Yeah, all of it. And so, what's up, Mike?
I cannot work on alcohol.
I know. And I used to order a drink just so that they don't feel judged and just kind of like sip along with them, because every time I said no, it was like the deal wasn't going to go through.
Yeah.
But I think it's really funny that we can do shots in business atmosphere, but we're like, not pods. We're not trying to actually get drunk. We're trying to enjoy it. Like, we have sommeliers for this. And then, you know, anyone who's like criticizing weed, like, you're all just trying to get high. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. You're a pain in the ass to tolerate. I gotta smoke weed. Okay.
Mara, I follow the Twitter account. You should too, at Mara Marek, Marek. And she does the little back and forth. Me and boyfriend talking. Me laughing. Boyfriend, stop cackling. Neighbor table says, no, I think it's cute.
Oh.
Boyfriend, you wouldn't think so after 2 years. And then Mara says, oh, my God, did you just acknowledge we've been dating together for 2 years? Did you say that out loud? Heart face.
That really happened at his state competition. I was like, oh, my God. And then he goes, you didn't hear anything that happened. I was like, I forgot it.
I think those neighbors should mind their own business.
Well, they were on her side.
They were
at
on my
least.
side.
So what?
They liked my laugh.
Right. They're seeing abuse and they have to stop it. No, honey, you laugh. I don't got to live with you, but you laugh.
You laugh
whenever you
annoyingly.
Want. Right. What are they talking about? Shooting up that Joker movie? Anyways, you laugh how and when you want. I have a laugh like that. It's and when something, it's not that it's awkward. I laugh because something's awkward, but when something's awkward, I genuinely find it funny. And I do laugh. And sometimes I'll be having an argument with somebody and they'll say something ridiculous. And then I'll go, huh. And they'll be like, well, you don't got to do that. And I'm like, no, what you said is fucking ridiculous. So it was funny to me. I'm not doing it deliberately to hurt you.
There were a couple people in my life who were like annoyed by my laugh.
My dad hated it.
Your dad hated my laugh?
My laugh. Probably yours if he respected women and what you said. But now I had to go outside if I was laughing, and then I was told to
No.
shut up if I was laughing outside. Yeah.
My dad said I can never be
You're
married.
the best, Dad. Love Keith.
And I hate to laugh. Signed me.
We'll never laugh again.
Promise. And this is your rebellion. I'm going to make everybody laugh. I have a podcast.
Right.
My dad said I'll never get married with this laugh. Like
That's what he said?
No one's going to be able to tolerate that. He was, quote, joking, but he never joked about nice things.
Right.
That is
Right. A lot of jokes.
horrible.
Right.
And then I was seeing this guy one time that was like, not everyone's as happy as you. And I'm like, why are you annoyed about
Are we
this?
talking about your and Keith's relationship again?
Right?
Well, she does it at a certain register.
No, it's surprising. A lot of things annoy Keith, but I don't think ever my laugh.
No.
I think he enjoys it because I'm usually laughing at a joke he said.
I like, you can tell when somebody's doing it real. What's more beautiful than laughter? You know,
Did you guys live together?
Yeah.
I love this. It's blowing. When I was on Mara's show, of course, Keith, you heard it. So I
It
off,
gets offensive eventually.
of course,
Okay, you live together. Did you stick it in? Or,
I offhand said, like, you know, how Keith and I used to date. And Mara's like, she paused the entire fucking episode and
Right.
was like, who did? You?
Right.
And Keith? The Keith that I know?
and you would think the host wouldn't even play themselves, like they had no idea. But Mara's like, no, wait a minute. Fuck me if I sound like I didn't do research. You're telling me.
We dated. Here we go, Mara. Ready to have
I'm
your
so
head
ready.
explode? 5 years.
No. What?
Most of it we lived with each other.
I've only known you separately.
Yeah.
And I love you both separately.
Separately and stay
But
separately.
I cannot imagine.
What do you see?
I
Why?
can't imagine living with Keith. Like I'm chill. Like you're like passionate about. I'm very like chill, and I think I would annoy him. Like I think.
Oh,
even
annoy
my,
him?
Like,
I don't think I annoyed him.
No.
No.
you. Oh really?
Yeah, no, I'm not annoying to Keith. Wait, no, some of the things.
Well, I mean, you're not a saint.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess eventually.
So why'd you guys break up?
I think eventually I did have too many feelings for him. No, not for him. Like I have internal too many feelings. He has lesser feelings
Yeah.
in general. And that's it.
Oh.
Like I'm like, oh, there's like 10 more things we could talk about. And he's like, there were -3 when we started. so I don't know how you came up with 10 more.
You have your answer?
Fun.
I did see the Joker movie. I'm alive. At the end of the Joker movie, my whole theater clapped. Like we just landed a plane that had turbulence.
And
like
the actors were there live.
like we
Like they could hear you.
Yeah, but I think everybody was just happy there wasn't a shooting after all.
I think so too, but was it also emotional? Because you
Yeah.
recommended me seeing this, and I feel like people now only recommend things that have a lot of feelings.
Well, I said
The Goldman's in it.
Gary Goldman, right? Because the Joker is a wannabe.
That's all I need. My good friend Gary Goldman is in it. Obviously, the Joker's going to be hilarious. It says Joker.
Right.
Anyway, what?
Well, he's gonna be. He's a failed stand-up comedian, or he wants to be a comedian. And
No, it's not. No,
The
that's not
Joker.
the line.
Yeah, the Joker
I'm leaving.
wants to.
I'm leaving right now.
You're into that?
What? No.
Oh.
I'm leaving the theater.
Oh.
The Joker because that's why the no. Was that the original plot line?
You're gonna say no to all this. Nothing.
Yeah.
Every female comedian is going to be so turned on by this comedian. They're going to be like, "Oh my god, a failing comedian! I want him. I want him.
Let me help him
Let
get
me help
better.
him right. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Let me give him my opportunities.
Yes, I will enable him and give him a better career, and then I'll just sit back in the
Yeah.
shadow.
Let's start a show called Keith and the Girl.
You don't even get a last name. You're just.
I don't even get a first name.
Anyway, you're a delight. Why'd you guys break up? Okay.
I went to the theater on Thursday. Not many people.
Who'd
know
you go with?
Just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is now where judgment comes in?
I'm not. I'm just. I like to put together why you guys broke up, and I feel like everything that he says, I'm like, oh yeah, okay,
Right.
keep going.
Okay. Now, are you gonna see this movie
Tomorrow
tomorrow?
at 3:30. I already have tickets.
With who?
George.
Do you want to see it?
No.
Okay. No, your way's better. That's abuse. I don't bring people to things they don't want to go to.
It's
That's
in my nap time. I go fall asleep. It's the recliners. I'm bringing a weighted blanket. Okay. Yes, I'll carry 25 pounds worth of blanket for this.
Did you go by yourself? Yeah. Ooh, you didn't make somebody go?
He wants to go.
Yeah, he wants to go. I follow what's happening.
I don't want to go.
I followed.
Okay.
But anyway, good for you. That's much more sane.
Thank you.
But with my, so the movie has a lot of funny stuff, but all the funny stuff is awkward stuff.
Okay.
So, and I laugh at that stuff.
You love awkward stuff.
Yeah, and I'm the first one to laugh in the theater, so now I'm like, great, I'm the shooter now. Everybody's gonna keep an eye on me.
You do have the shooter look.
Like it had.
In any scenario. Yeah.
Every
You
single
are
one.
what they look like.
What happens a lot in comedy clubs where the comic will say the setup, I see where it's going. I laugh. I'm the only one laughing. The row in front of me turns around. I'm like, what's wrong with this asshole? Then they do the punchline and everybody laughs. They don't turn back and go, oh, you were right. I go, well, wait for it. What do you think? It's not a TED Talk. You'll see. I'm highly intelligent. Turn around.
Why did we break up if he's so highly intelligent?
I-
We're going to get to the bottom of this today
We
with
are.
you.
Have you had sex in the last little bit? I just want to be sure because that's what serial killers, that's one of their things is the lack of
Not only are
intimate
my
relationships.
balls are only half filled now. 2 days ago,
Excellent.
I had sex. I'm having sex again tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so great.
No, for the record, I feel like I should say this. I did not shoot up the theater.
Did you wear the sleeveless shirt there?
I may have. That wouldn't have bothered me either. By the way, for being so real, you're so fucking fake. We don't have Velcro because of assholes like you.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm so fake. I have so much Botox in my face. These lashes, I just got sewn in. These tits.
Are they sewn in?
Yeah, I've had 3 breast surgeries.
And you only have 2 breasts.
I know, it's crazy.
How do you sew in eyelashes?
Oh, God, you lay down and close your eyes, and some Vietnamese lady does it. I don't know.
You actually, did they get sewn in?
Every other week, yeah.
So you don't have to put those
I'm
on.
a natural lady. I'm a natural woman.
Right.
I just throw a little water on my face, and I'm out the door, you know?
You're like, I want you to do everything on me now so I never need makeup.
I don't need moisturizer because my face is just paralyzed this way, okay? I did go to Mexico. When I was in Mexico with George, I got Botox. And
In Mexico?
yes, and there they don't put anesthesia in it. Like they mix it with anesthesia here.
Okay.
And they use acupuncture needles that are very fine. There, they use like a horse needle, and it's just straight Botox, so it feels like someone's taking a knife and hammering it into your face. I cried so hard. Another nurse had to come in and hold my face down.
Stop.
And I was hiccup crying, and I was like, that's good, that's enough, that's enough. And they're like, you've only got half your face done. You'll look horrible. And then I was like, fine, fine. And then I stood up, and they're like, see, it's not that bad. And I was like, I was so bruised everywhere. I was like, yeah, it's good. But it was $100. I ain't going to pass
Yeah.
up a deal, you know what I mean?
But you're crying, but there's no lines on your forehead.
None, not
It looks
enough.
like you're smiling.
I know. She goes, see, it happens right now. Look at, but now I smile like one of those 4-year-olds that forgets how to smile.
Showing too many teeth for
It's
no
too
reason.
much.
This, I would wonder how to play it as a boyfriend. Do you say like, "Oh, you look great," or does he say you don't need it, or does he know you're going to do it anyway? Is he oddly encouraging it? How do you play it when a girlfriend wants to get Botox? What's the right thing to do?
He doesn't say, he doesn't give me compliments like ever.
Okay.
So I don't, he
Okay.
doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I go to the theater by myself. Though. Okay.
But he also hurt his back
Oh well, then how could he?
when we were in Mexico, like the first day. So that's why we were at the hospital. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, we're
let's
here
just-
anyway.
We're here. I might as well get some. And he was on a lot of codeine. So that's why I had the best vacation ever.
Hey, while we're here, do you have any deals? Yeah, you can get Botox too, and we'll give you a dolphin ride after.
What happened to his back?
Oh, he just took a step and hurt it and then hurt it. But I have a client that owns all the hospitals in Mexico, so we just called her and she took care of it.
Wow.
Yeah, so nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of who Keith is having sex with, your personal trainer, he is dating one.
Oh, that's why you have a sleeveless tee on.
You gotta show it off.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
working
see.
for nothing. Hold on, I gotta scratch the other side of my body with my other hand. There we go. Would Chemda like the Joker movie? I loved it, but I knew, of course, stories about Batman was one of my favorites, and of course I knew who the Joker was. If it's a story just about a guy you don't know who has a mental breakdown, Like, some people are saying somehow they're going into this movie knowing nothing. I don't know if you would like it.
I mean, I know Batman enough.
I think
or no?
I think so. I think so. You're like, oh, that's Bruce Wayne. He's gonna grow up and be Batman. That's exciting to me.
Oh well, I know it that well.
I'd assume so, right?
Yeah, but I am not going to the movie theater at night because you guys are just robbing me. But if there's like a daytime movie that's $10 or less, I will consider it.
Okay.
So you're gonna go to the movies in Pennsylvania.
Right.
I can't with how much it costs. How much is it costing you tomorrow during the day?
I bought tickets for
$3.30.
$38.50.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny though? He didn't.
No, I mean he bought my Botox. So
Okay.
I kind of
Fair's fair.
They have a spreadsheet, Keith.
Right.
Stop it.
The Joker made $93.5 million in U.S. ticket sales. So it's, of course, is far and away the number one movie of the weekend.
So then it's not an issue that it was threatened to be shot up.
Not at all.
Do you think it would have been higher if the shooting gossip wouldn't have been traveling?
I don't know. Part of me, if we find out that the movie itself put out
I'm
the
positive
stories,
they did.
I wouldn't be surprised.
100% they
If
did.
they went on Reddit and started going, hey, I'm thinking about shooting up a random theater.
What was the last one that got shut up?
Batman, ironically.
Batman. Oh.
Or unironically, right? Rotten Tomatoes gave The Joker 69% from critics, 90% from regular people.
90% from regular
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
What the fuck do regular people know?
Usually they don't get it right, but they got this right. I'll tell you. Number 2 movie was a cartoon, Abominable.
Oh, it looks so cute.
Number 3, maybe you can sneak in there.
I would
when
love
he's
to
not
see
looking.
that one instead.
Number 3, Downton Abbey. You're like, will they polish all the silver in time? And it's like, there's a storyline where there's a butler and he's folding all the sheets, but he has a very weak chin. It's very dramatic. It's like, how's he gonna do it? Number 4, Hustlers, and number 5, It Chapter 2. So in the top 5, you have 2 clown movies right now. I remember when Chemda and I, we did clown parties together.
How about that, Mara?
ICP?
Yeah, but more just
What's
clown,
ICP?
Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
We would do parties for kids.
Like actual parties.
Oh, not ICP.
Not
At all. No.
not drinking piss,
No
watching a
juggalos.
band,
No,
right?
yeah.
I remember I think it was right before a party, so I'm in makeup and I got something from a bodega, and the clerk is like, "Oh no, I don't play that." I'm like, "All right, so I'm just gonna need to buy this stuff." Like, I don't play clowns. I don't play that.
Most people hate clowns.
Well, no shit. It's It with sharp teeth. It's the Joker's gonna kill you. Nobody likes those clowns.
Nightmare on Elm Street had one sketch that I cannot get out of my brain, and that was in like 1947 that one came out.
What was it? What did the clown do?
It was in a field. It was supposed to be like a scarecrow clown, and the wife was having an affair with this guy that dressed up like him, and then the husband came out, and she was like, "Oh, I thought I heard something," and he goes, "There's nothing out here," and was killing the guy with the pitchfork.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think it's hard to kill someone with a pitchfork.
It is. I was like 13 when I watched that.
Oh, fuck.
I know, and I cannot stop thinking. Did you want to fuck him when he was in a clown outfit?
Keith, we did.
Oh God.
I don't know what kind of relationship you think this was.
What do you?
We absolutely fucked in clown outfits.
I want to ask Mark.
One time we did it on the fucking clock. So we were getting paid to fuck.
We got home early, and we're like, "Oh, let's count this."
Let's keep telling her about our relationship
Yeah.
until she dies.
No, I feel like we have to ask Mark questions. Do you guys have sex?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you live together?
No.
Okay. Do you know his full name?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So normal things in a relationship. Okay.
I know, but clown outfits. I just has a lot of makeup everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, has he been in the chef's outfit, smelling from work, and you guys did it?
That was the first night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I fucked him the first night in his bar.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah.
on the stove.
You guys have good sex, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't tolerate that much shit unless that.
There's some good dick involved. Yes.
David Spector wrote on Twitter, tried to buy tickets to the Joker movie, and I think it's a little messed up that they gouged seats near the exits to $400 each. Yeah, that was a little crass.
Andrea's writing in, LOL, tell her I worked for you when I was in college and you were fake together. Thanks, Andrea. Cool shit. By the time she started working with us, we were broken up, but we didn't tell anyone.
Oh.
So.
Oh. "Oh, we'll talk later, Andrea." You guys didn't want to share? You didn't want to be open with everyone?
We had a relationship book that we had to sign something saying we won't break up in a year after the book comes out. Book took a bit to come out. By the time it comes out, we did break up, so we had to keep it a secret legally.
Oh, I've done all my research. You guys had that. That was a good book.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I still stand by the book.
I do too.
It's just funny.
I'll read it later.
What's your favorite thing to do with your boyfriend aside from sex?
Oh, honestly, so dumb. We do this, okay. He's very romantic. Like, he'll put together a couple of bowls of, like, paper, and he'll have a direction, like north, south, east, west, and then in the other bowl, there'll be minutes, and I'll pick one from each, and then we'll just drive in that one direction and then go wherever we land. That's where we hang out for the day. We eat, we find something fun to do. It's cute.
That's really cute.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Each time we've ended up right by the water, and I was like, oh, maybe he's just putting like all one direction and all he has it all planned out.
What's the farthest you'll drive? How far?
We've gone 75 minutes west.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you always take the same west? Like, don't you kind of
No.
end up the same place every time? Or
No, there's little things you have to go like 9 blocks one way, and
Okay.
then we have to hit the whatever freeway is there. Then that's when we start the clock.
all right,
Yeah,
that's cute.
it's cute.
That is cute.
It's really cute.
How long have you been with them?
2 years. Seriously, I just tweeted that like a week ago.
Right, but I can still let you talk sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Are we dating? Yeah, 2 years.
How
And he
many-
lives right down the street.
How many times have you been divorced?
3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you trust yourself? Can you be married again?
I didn't like any of the previous ones. So I figured since I finally like one, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that hard for a man to understand? I didn't like the other 3.
No one buys it. It's like when you
That's strange.
it's like when you tell them, "Oh, I'm barren. Just you can come inside me." They're like, "You're lying."
Yeah, they probably should accept that as a lie.
Right.
I wouldn't trust anyone that said that.
Right.
I'm going to go to the doctor with you. When the doctor tells me, then you're barren.
Yes.
Right. Now, if you're hearing this and you're like, I was thinking about shooting up the Joker movie. Let me say something to you, dear listener, okay? You can shoot up the Joker movie if all of the following happened in your life, okay? Your mom is a clinical schizophrenic who tied you to a radiator for days and that you learned even adopted you. You're presently being beaten down literally by children and adults left for dead. You have a condition that makes you laugh nervously to the point you need to carry cards with you to explain to everybody what's going on. And Batman's father literally punched you square in the face. If all of these things happen to you, then yes, you can relate. But not just a couple. Not I wasn't served breakfast one morning. You know what I'm talking about. It has to be all these things. I tripped over a radiator? No. All of these things, including Batman's father, punched you in the face.
Would you believe that Keith could be romantic?
Answer her!
I feel like it's like in an Asperger-y way, you know, like
Thank you.
like I read about this, and so I did all these steps, you know. I got all the things. Now, are you romanced? Like that's how it would come across.
My arms are stiff. Are you romanced
Are
enough?
you romanced right now?
I'm licking an arm as foreplay.
Well,
It's very interesting what people think of you, Keith.
Thank you. I will tell you one weird thing about this movie is that if you saw in the trailer, you see the Joker dressed up as you understand the Joker to be, dancing down these long, steep steps. You know, he became the Joker. He had some kind of emancipation. In the movie, for about 2 minutes during the walk down, they play that Gary Glitter song, the sports one you hear all the time. Dun, 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 hey, dun, 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 dun. He's a pedophile. He's in jail now. In 2015, he got 16 years. He won't be out till 2031. He's going to make so much money from that song being the movie, and I can't help but think about the director and being, why?
maybe he sold the rights. Let's look that up. Maybe he won't get all the money. Maybe he doesn't.
I did look it up.
Fuck.
Yeah, this isn't your
Chris
show.
Brown. Well, my show's funny. Chris Brown. gets to
She's
still
only
be-
laughing because she has that Joker.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm also on the spectrum.
Chris Brown, what?
He gets to make music all the time, and he's a woman beater. Fuck
Right.
that dude. And
Right.
then somebody was like defending XXXTentacion for getting killed, and he was like, "Yeah, so what? He went to jail for beating his wife. So what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a big deal. Like, you guys don't get to have those careers anymore
Yeah.
when you fuck up that big. Sorry."
But what does the director think? Like, obviously, it's not just the director's pick. Other people know about it. That somebody must have told him, "Hey, just so you know, Gary Glitter's in jail 16 years for fucking
Nobody
kids."
cares.
But you have to. But it's not even. Is it just not care? I mean, it has to be a conscious choice. I find myself thinking this when I talk to people daily, where I'm like, that was deliberate, wasn't it? And that's how I thought during like. We know all this back information about Batman and everything. Everything's you kind of put the movie together in your head. I feel like at some parts. That's what makes it great.
No one else does this.
So they do. That's why the movie's number one. That's why people love it. So he knows that we're going to be thinking, oh, that's a song by a pedophile, and maybe you're supposed to be like, all right, he's dancing to a song by a fucking sicko.
I didn't know he was a pedophile. I
Well-
would have never thought that.
I don't know how to feel about this usually because this is a decision that a lot of people get to make, and the song is out and blah blah blah. But so, for example, the Beatles, right? Everyone's still listening to them. I don't think I ever hit play on a Beatles song. I know all the words of most of the songs, right? Didn't he beat his wife, John Lennon?
I know there are beatings. Yeah,
Multiple women he beat. It was just he's just fine with beating people.
yeah, I get it.
I think one of the other members also. I'm not sure. I don't want to put
I don't
that
know
out there
about
without
that.
knowing.
I
But
don't think that's true.
but
But
John
Is
Lennon.
that one of the 50 ways to leave a lover?
one, two.
So that's. I mean, shouldn't his? I mean, his life is over, but the career of that. Like, we're listening to Michael Jackson music. We're listening to the Beatles. I recently, on last week on Keith and the Girl, talked about Daniel Johnston. Really sad that he recently just died, but he scared the shit out of people with his bipolar stuff. But he also changed people's lives and made them better. I don't know what to do about art. You think is it Van Gogh who cut his ear off?
Yeah.
I don't think that he was. I don't think the woman who was getting his ear was very happy. And if there were laws, she would take out
Restraining order.
a restraining order against him, because that doesn't sound like she wants his ear.
Right,
I
but-
don't think she requested it. But I don't know what to do with artists and their music and their
It's not-
art and how they make us feel so good by living terrible personal lives.
Because to me, it's like you're shrugging. What can we do?
It's not that. I'm really not. I'm really trying hard not to do that. It's not.
The
what
line
can we
is when
do.
you're a convicted pedophile and you're in jail, you do not get your song played at a movie.
Do
do
you
not
have
get
to be
hundreds of.
convicted?
It makes it easier, yeah.
But what about the fact that we know for a fact that this happened? There's no refuting it. But the fact that he's
That
not
what?
in jail or convicted,
Who?
why are you still listening
Who?
to the Beatles? Why are people still listening to all the music of only shitheads? Was Metallica wonderful to people? Doubt it. You know what I mean?
Nah, I don't like where this is going at all.
I don't know.
Now we're comparing it to Metallica.
Metallica, I think, was pretty. I think those guys were good. Honestly.
Why? All that drinking only made them really nice to the women in their
Very
life.
sweet.
They only speak about very
as soon
awesome
as they got
things.
super hammered, they were so philanthropic. It was like insane.
Yeah, but to you, you're not. Like, I guess there's no difference, and that's what I mean by shrugging. To me, there's a difference between guessing what Metallica did and the Beatles, and even Michael Jackson, not convicted, but I'm very clear disgusted to me. I didn't want that played at my wedding. But a pedophile and convicted with proof, there's no question you don't put that in a movie. There's no question. Where's the line, Keith? Pedophilia.
I do always fast forward on songs that come up on my Apple Music when it's like a felon.
Yeah, but they get paid double when you do it at double speed.
Will you not go to In-N-Out anymore because you are an ardent atheist?
Pedophilia is my line. Pedophilia.
Okay, is it only pedophilia?
I can't even answer that.
Okay.
No, other things are bad too.
What's the deal with In-N-Out? I don't eat there, but
They have they're very Christian oriented. They have Christian passages on the bottom of their drinks and on every kind of container that they have.
really?
Yeah.
I thought that was Chick-fil-A.
Also,
Whoa.
yeah.
Gary Glitter has been jailed for a total of 16 years for sexually abusing 3 young girls between 1975 and 1980. A sentence for attempted rape, 4 counts of indecent assault, and 1 for having sex with a girl under 13. Also in Vietnam, he was molesting 2 girls, ages 11 and 12.
And
He
you
should
you also
die.
know that this is not the end of it. This is just what he got convicted for. There's
Sure.
no way that every woman that he ever fucking did anything to is coming out and enduring what you have to endure in order to get someone behind bars for this.
The youngest victim had been less than 10 years old when he crept into her bed and tried to rape her in
Oh,
1975.
I want to murder him myself.
So there's other songs you could have put there. And do you think people go, hey, Todd Phillips, do you understand about this guy? He's like, yeah, what about Michael Jackson? What about In-N-Out Burger? It's like, all right, Todd, forget it. Do what you do.
Is anyone saying anything about this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah?
odd. It's odd, yeah.
So what happens now? Like people talk
Nothing.
about it.
Well, then
and-
what's going to happen? Nothing.
Now I'm pissed I bought the tickets.
Yeah. Supporter. And you know how many tickets you bought? 2.
I know.
I just bought 1.
You didn't even buy the tickets, don't you? Have a pass?
Yeah, I got a pass, so however you look at it. We're making lines here. 2 minutes of Glitter's 1972 glam rock track, Rock and Roll Part 2. The singer's 75 years old, and he stands to make several hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
So he's in jail walking around. Hey! Da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
How old is he? When does he get out of jail?
75, gets out of jail 2031.
Okay.
He'll be dead.
He'll be dead. Yeah.
I don't know. People will help him now. Now that they know you can be a millionaire again,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't murdered.
Is he not a millionaire already? That song plays everywhere in big events.
Probably, but you know, if I'm a cellmate, I have to assume the victim's got your money. But now I see you could be a millionaire
It
again.
plays at every baseball game.
Yeah.
They still play it,
100%.
huh?
Yeah, so he must be a millionaire. What's his name again?
Gary Glitter. His real name is Paul Gadd, Gadd.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then he'll get royalties from the DVDs. He'll get royalties from the soundtracks. The soundtracks. That'll be in there for sure.
Ugh.
He's worth between $1 million and $5 million.
He was also jailed in 1999 for possession of child pornography. That's the first of several convictions.
He sold an estimated 18 million records, and his money earned, including rock and roll parts, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's rich. He's been rich.
Now,
He's
Todd,
going to stay rich.
Todd Phillips did the Hangover movies. The first one of which I liked. The second 2 I didn't. But
They fucking hired Tyson for that fucking one.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Mike Tyson was a convicted rapist. So even if you look at it like he did his time, which he did, that's still disgusting to me. So I don't know if is this Todd like, I'm gonna do this and fuck you? Because recently he stopped doing these comedies and he's doing this psychological thriller, and he says, go try to be funny nowadays in this woke culture.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're so lazy.
There were
that statement is so shitty.
Yeah. There were articles written about why comedians don't work anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because all the fucking funny guys are like, fuck this shit, because I don't want to offend you. It's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter. You just can't do it, right? So you just go,
Pussy.
I'm out.
That you're a pussy. It's hard to argue with 30 million people. That's not your job, first of all. If your job is to be funny and people aren't laughing, do you think it's people's problem?
Right. I enjoyed in the movie.
You think it wasn't hard to be funny in the 1950s?
Right.
You weren't allowed to talk about anything. So everything was controversial and everybody was mad at you all the time. You think comics always had a good relationship with everybody? People fucking hate comedians. Their parents hate them. Their siblings hate them. Everybody fucking hates them. The fact that you're only seeing celebrated comedians full of theaters is what you have to fucking climb to while you're hated constantly. Who's always loved when they say the shit that's on their mind that's taboo? No fucking body. It's the pussies that are going, what can we say? Nothing. But you happen to have a mic in your hand. So maybe you're saying something. You little bitch.
And that's when I left.
I-
No, of course, Chemda's right. When I was a kid, they were talking about PC culture. Nothing's new. Nothing's really changing.
My
In
father
that
told me
regard.
I had a terrible laugh.
Right.
Well, what can I laugh? Shut the fuck up. Live your fucking life. We all try to get slammed down. You're the one being a pussy, not the ones telling you, hey, by the way, your shit is off.
Right.
Your fucking shit is off.
In this movie, Joker, Robert De Niro is the talk show host. You would have seen that in credits. That makes fun. He adds to the making fun of the Joker, which is funny because again, it's I put this together. I'm like, oh, Robert De Niro. That reminds me of Rupert Pupkin, who wanted that job from the King of Comedy. You know, the Joker's attitude reminds me of Taxi Driver, that Robert De Niro was also in. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, the producer of that show, of the fake show, is Mark Maron. And so Mark Maron, this pleased me that he went and said something against the director. And he said, oh, that tired saw, that old saw, like, I guess that's a saying, that old story, PC culture. There's plenty of people being funny right now, Mark says. Not only being funny right now, but being really fucking funny. There are still lines to be rode if you like to ride a line. If you want to take chances, you can still take chances. If you're too intimidated to try to do comedy that is deep and provocative or even a little controversial without hurting people, then you're not good at what you do.
Thank you.
Anytime I hear a comedian bitch about that, it's like, then what do you do? What's your skill? Oh, I don't get to just say anything? No, you have to have a skill to it.
There's also, your jokes are so, it's like, and you know what? I would fuck Hitler. Why aren't you laughing?
Right.
Why aren't you oh, I can't say I would fuck Hitler because he killed 6 million Jews plus other people. I'm not really fucking Hitler. He's actually dead. Okay, you tired fucking. Why don't you put some tea bags on your eyes and take a fucking nap? Nobody wants to hear your shit. But when we're wrong about, like, when we get up and maybe go like, hey, men in my life do this, like, oh, men are so terrible. No, that's my joke, bitch. Now you're being a fucking bitch. Sorry, people are just
She's
bitches.
got some feelings over there.
I didn't really have any.
I hate to.
You know? So now you see the difference. I just thought we shouldn't play music from pedophiles. That became a debate.
Thought it was going to be like an all everybody say yes.
What can I say, Keith?
Right. What music can I listen to? I don't know. What can I tell you? Hear it all. Martin Scorsese has said, I don't watch comic book movies.
I think I'm going to live with Dad.
Right? I don't see comic book movies. I tried, but that's not cinema. Honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is theme parks. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotion.
Who is this?
Martin Scorsese saying those superhero movies aren't real movies. First of all,
You're an asshole.
There is nothing.
He's 108 years old.
Right. There's nothing greater than in Spider-Man: Homecoming, when Peter Parker's in the back of that car about to go to the prom, and the bad guy is the dad of the daughter, Michael Keaton, in the front seat, and they're figuring out who each other is, but the kid is too nervous to do anything about it, when we all know in the audience Spider-Man could easily kill him right there. That is feelings. That is cinema.
How can Martin Scorsese say that's not cinema? What is cinema? What, someone like tying someone up in a garage that's abandoned and then like kind of half cutting his ear?
Right.
Fuck off. This is like beautiful shit. This is why people go to the movie. And I'm not even into any of this, but why you go to the theater is that big action, that like big personalities, that world that somebody's creating. I don't see how it's different than like a Harry Potter movie or something like that.
It's just a moment your imagination gets to come to life.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Let us have our fucking minute of peace.
What else is our movie supposed to be other than this imagination come to life? They're having people fly and like Earth being shattered and time being moved. What's not cinematic about that?
And by the way, your buddy is
another little bitch.
Your buddy is Robert De Niro. Maybe take a minute. He's in the Joker movie.
He can't see.
Again, I don't
His
care for these
glasses are
movies.
very thick, and I think they're those transition ones. They're very dark.
I think this is just all the same thing of people going, that's not what I do, so I don't get it, so it's not cool. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm not saying go see these movies, but that is just it's all everything there.
Does anybody get shot in the back of the head? No, these superheroes look you in the face. Not cinema.
Do I get to say the N-word 50 times? Right. No? Oh, okay, Martin. Okay, Martin, only you can make movies now, Martine.
They should, you know what?
Cast me. Okay.
These are not my point of view. Mara,
what can I say?
Mara Merrick on Twitter. Mara Merrick is also on Instagram, right?
Oh, yes.
Nice. Right?
Okay. I was like, what are you going to say about
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right. The podcast is Happy Never After. The episode with Chemda is episode 155, Double Dealing Pronouns and Craigslist Ads with Chemda.
When I saw that title, I was like, okay, Mara.
Chemda, host of Keith and the Girl, joins Mara to talk about being in a relationship with someone during transition. We talk about not identifying as a lesbian, dealing with constant cheating and deception throughout the marriage, and how the physical transition of marrying a transgender was not even the most outstanding change. It was his personal transition. Let me tell you something right now, Mara. You might not know this. Transgender is an adjective, okay?
Okay.
Grow up.
Some of us sleep for 17 minutes a day, okay?
You don't understand. The actual reason we broke up is this is what he's like with grammar. I would write a love letter and he'd be like, it's an adjective. Okay, Keith.
Know what that means. Okay, Keith.
Yeah. You didn't spell it right. I'm like, C-U-Z, Keith. Can you please, is it all right if I get cute with this?
Also, everybody knows that I just write how I talk, and that's how podcasts are.
Well, I see that. We also talk about getting manipulated, finding a support system, and dating after all the storms have finally cleared. Such a great episode.
Such a great episode.
That's written in there. I love that. This is good. The one before, she's like, it's all right. I don't think I'm wasting your time.
It was fun. It was really fun to do.
It was very fun. It was very informative. Mm-hmm. So...
yeah, I just...
so take that.
Mara basically asked me half a question. I'm like, let me tell you a little fucking story. Afterwards, it's one of those podcasts where afterwards I was like, you asked me all that, right?
I was like, I said, how are you? And then it was 2 hours later.
I don't lie, okay? Right. You ask me how I am. It's a 2-hour saga.
Chemda had to tell Mara the show was done.
I was like, oh, thank God.
Here's a tweet from Mara. Yeah, the stuff with the Ukraine is bad, but I joked with my esthetician that I was 52, and she believed me.
Yeah, she did.
You talk this. That's a beautician, right?
No, esthetician.
What do they do?
Like facials.
Oh, okay. And they're like, yeah, I believe you.
Yeah,
like,
she goes, oh, you look good. And I was like, fuck you. I was kidding.
Right.
She did say you look good.
Yeah, for 52.
I better.
My dad used to say that. He used to tell people he's like 10 years older on his birthday. Right. And they're like, oh, you don't look much older than, and they would pick like 5 years older than he is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he would get such a kick at it. I'm like, it's backfiring every time.
Right.
What is your problem?
Well, I never understood why people lie lower. I'm like, but I'm seeing your face, you know? At least tell the truth at best.
All right, let's go around. Mara?
Oh, what?
I'm 43.
Oh, God, I don't want to do this.
Not 52.
Yes. Oh, my God.
You should be shocked when she said 52. That's how old she is.
Right.
So old.
But you couldn't wrinkle your face in disgust, so she
I
didn't know
know
what to... She didn't know how to read you.
Now, you just have to say that I was your favorite guest of all time, and we can close out the show.
You were my guest on my show. No, I'm just kidding. You were one of my favorite guests. Yes, for sure.
All right, everybody, spread the word. That's how we keep this machine going. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.